So I either severely sprained or broke my toe. Stubbed it on Joe's coffee table, which I've stubbed my toe before on Joe's coffee table. I'm adjusting, I'm not used to having the coffee table, and we don't wear shoes in the house, so I've done it before, but not like this. It's all black and blue and swollen. And normally even a broken toe wouldn't be like the biggest deal. Look, compared to what's happened to other people. But if I can't walk, I can't take Omar up and down the stairs to go to the bathroom and to feed him. And Joe hates my guts and wants me gone. And I can't fly or do anything if I have a broken foot, broken toe, whatever. It's probably like what David Icke and others say, that you manifest your fears. I feared this would happen, and I was obscenely careful. But things happen. I'm a little kid. I wasn't running around the living room. I used to stub my toe on my bed all the time, and I was familiar with where that was. But when it's black and blue and swollen, that's not good. I'm walking on it on the rug, but that's not the same as trying to put it in a shoe or trying to go downstairs in bare feet carrying Omar. It's not the same as trying to shove it in a shoe and walk outside. It hurt like a motherfucker when I did it, but I was still walking afterwards. But that's the same thing that happened in 2009 when I was supposed to fly back home, and Marion was threatening me that if I didn't leave, she was going to 50-50 me, whatever that is, 51-50. And my mom was locked up in the mental hospital. I was actually had a flight and was trying to get home. In the end, it was good that I didn't. My mom didn't want me to go. Ultimately, that's how we found out about that adorable power of attorney that my mom had never known what the nature of. In any case, I missed my flight because I was walking down to a mile down to get something at the store, do something. And I wound up having to be rushed to the emergency because I couldn't walk. But I could walk at first, see? I could walk at first, but it didn't take much. And it wasn't broken, it was just severely sprained, which is probably what this is. going anywhere near Joe, so if I have to go to the emergency, I have to take a taxi there and back. Don't have the cash, don't even know if they take credit cards. Remember, as Joe points out to me all the time, this is his home, not mine. This isn't my home. I don't live here, and I don't know if the taxis take credit cards. What I do know is Joe's not putting my dog in a kennel. I'll starve up here. I'll just drink tap water. No one's going to starve right away, not even the dog. Not even Omar. Or I'll shout out the window to the next door neighbor. Tell her the situation, ask her to come over and bring me and Omar food. Tell her I'm barricaded in the top room because Joe's not putting Omar in a kennel. I know almost 100% Omar would be dead. Even if Joe and I were still friends, which we're not. Clearly I can't live here anyway. He won't give a fuck. I'll be heartbroken. I'll be happy. This is what fate wants. I'm not allowed to have anything or be happy in this life, not even a tiny bit. Come here, baby. Of course, Joe's solution is always get rid of the dog or leave the dog with your mom, which is also a death sentence for him. But it doesn't matter anyway. Joe doesn't give a fuck about me. He can try to gaslight me all he wants. I don't care. I lived in abusive relationships for a long time. And if you're using the same kind of fucking words with me, not good enough, not perfect enough, not appreciative enough, it's my home, and you don't appreciate me. That's how he feels. So there you have it. It'll never not be that way. It's his home. It's not mine. I'm just a guest here. God help me if I don't live up to his standards. He could deny it all he wants. He said it to me. I was going through hell yesterday that had nothing to do with him. And he was going through his own hell at work, and I was trying to stay away from him, keep my distance. Nothing. I'm not good enough. It's not enough for him that I try to stay out of his way and keep my distance when I know that he's going through hell at work. No, that's not enough for him. If I'm in, not bothering him, not asking him for anything, but God help me if I snap at him, if I have the nerve to snap at him, like he's never snapped at me, but when he snaps at me, he'll say, "Oh, I'm just having had a bad day at work." See, that's okay, because in his eyes, all that matters is that he works and I don't. He resents the fact that he works and I don't, and that I'm living here and he's paying the bills and he has to chauffeur me around. He says as much. I do everything for you, you do nothing for me. And I'm tearfully telling him that I do clean because I know that I do. I'm cognizant of I'm not good enough. Not good enough. Classic abusive line, not good enough. And if someone's trying their best and it's not good enough in the eyes of the person who has the power over them, then there you have it. He also uses the just leave if you're not happy. Just leave, i.e. I want you to leave. And then he gaslights me and says he doesn't act like that, when he does. I thought this was going to be my home, but it isn't. It's not. I don't pay the bills, so it's Joe's home and I'm a guest, always. Joe's home, I'm a guest, he can throw me out at a moment's notice. I'm not good enough in his eyes, his words. And again, this wasn't some huge fight. This was, I tried to stay out of his way. I was on the phone for a total of nearly 8 hours yesterday. And this is because I snapped at him after midnight when I was practically in bed. Or because I was grumbling out loud, not actually saying anything to him, not trying to tell him I burden him when he's at work. I won't burden him anyway, because anything that I am going through, he just lumps into the category of drama. I could be crying my fucking eyes out like now his next door neighbor knows, but to Joe it's trivial, it's drama, because what he goes through at work supersedes everything else in his mind, always. And I accept that and I understand that. But my God, I snap at you and it's the end of the world. Like, then when I snap at him and it's the end of the world in his eyes, then he brings up everything else. You suck and you're ungrateful and you're mean-spirited, and then with cleaning, it's not good enough. You don't clean enough. First he's saying I don't clean at all, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit. But the bottom line is, if I'm doing my best, if I actually scan around and to make sure things are clean, to even clean up his messes. But it's not going to be every single time. I didn't even barely go in the kitchen yesterday. I didn't even eat. I was going to eat, and instead I decided to go to bed. That's why I lost a couple of pounds overnight. At least I'll be walking back into hell 13 pounds thinner than when I got here. And actually, I'm barricaded in the room and not going to eat. So I'll probably lose more weight. I can't just snap my fingers and leave. And I'm not going anywhere unless he pays for a fucking pot and packs up all my stuff and I know it's gone from his home. Let's not ever forget it's his home. I'm just a guest. And when he decides I'm not just a guest, I'm an unwanted guest.